Ladies and gentlemen, I wish for us to start so that the others who are joining us, they shall be able to join as we progress. So for the interest of time, I'm so excited to have all of you. I can see from the chats, we have people joining in from Kisumu, from Nyeri, from Kikuyu. And before I even proceeds, I would like to have a confirmation. Amos, can you hear me? Am I audible? Am I clear?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, thank you very much for that confirmation. I would wish for us to start so that we can, we have so much that we need to accomplish within a very short period of time. So without further ado, I would like to welcome Dr. Karanja Kabare. And before I do that, I will want to introduce myself. My name is Dr. Rebecca Anmaina from the Department of Business Administration, School of Business, JKU Arts. So I will allow me to welcome Dr. Karanja Kabare, who will give us a snapshot of what we expect this afternoon as he welcomes the principal, Kored. Karibu sana, Daktari.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rebecca. I hope I'm audible from where I am. You could confirm that.
Yes, you're audible.
Very well. I want to welcome everybody into this program. I'm Kabare Karanja from the Entrepreneurship Department in the School of Business, and I'm quite excited that we have this program. I can see that I was supposed to begin with a word of prayer as I introduce the program. So, shall we have a short prayer? Then we proceed. Let's pray. Dear God, we come before your throne of mercy this afternoon with thanksgiving. We want to thank you for the gift of life. We want to thank you for this day. We want to thank you, Lord, for the good things that you continue to do in our lives. We want to thank you for this great institution that is JKUAT. We thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve in it. God, we want to thank you because of our students. We want to thank you for the university community, and we want to thank you even for the guests that we have this afternoon. We want to commit this event into your hands. Use it to do something to our lives, use it to encourage our graduates, and use it, Lord, to enhance our lives. For this, we pray, believing in our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
Very well. I think mine will be quite short. Once again, let me recognize the presence of our principal, Professor Maura. Let me also recognize the presence of our distinguished guests, the panelists. We thank you for making time to be part of this quite important exercise. The main purpose of this event is more or less to is not to wish our graduates goodbye, but is more or less to pat the back by encouraging them as they transit to from the academy into the world of work. We wish to give them a little package of how to position themselves and how to navigate that terrain because it can be challenging. Life within the university has its characteristics. Life outside the university in the world of work could be a little bit different from what we are accustomed to. And we thought that the best people to share insights about how to make this transition should be practitioners and industry people rather than largely academia. And we have mm, with us Mr. Lamek Mito. I'll be talking about him in a short while. We have Mr. Anthony Washira. We have Ms. Grace Nzula, and we have Mr. J. Walemba, distinguished personalities in the industry who we look forward to hear from. 2 hours is quite a short period of time to address the issues that they want to address. But we believe that from their broad background, they would be able to arm our graduates with some insights on how to navigate that terrain I just mentioned. This originally was meant for the School of Business, or rather the College of Human Resource Development, but we thought of extending the invitation across the university, and I'm sure those who will be logging in will learn one or two things. We would have some remarks from the principal, after which I doubt if we still have the DVC. Uh, After that, we shall have, I shall briefly introduce our chief guest, Mr. Lamek Mito, who will make his presentation. After that, Dr. Becky would step in to introduce the three panelists, uh, and then guide us on the next phase. I think we'll be speaking into the chief guest's presentation. Then we get the other three presentations. And after the three presentations, we would have the Q&A. And I want to encourage our students to really participate, ask questions, seek clarifications, and this event will be a success. I would wish now to request our principal to make her remarks, and then we proceed. Prof.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. We can hear you, Prof.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I especially want to welcome to this webinar our guests who will be speaking to the students. So our guests from industry, Mr. Lamek Mito, Mr. Anthony Washira, Grace Nzula, and Jay Walemba. I want to, in a very, very special way, thank you for honoring our invite to speak to our students. And we are very much looking forward to hearing from you. And I also want to welcome our graduating class of 2024 to this webinar. I can see you continue to log in. There are quite a number of you. And I just want to say that even the act of taking this to log into a webinar like this, it wasn't compulsory. It was a suggestion that you thought it fit to log in and learn something. I think that is an indication that you know life is about grabbing opportunities. This is a wonderful opportunity for you to really hear from practitioners and those in the big world wide out there about what it is they expect to see and to hear from you. But it is also the first step in what I like to call lifelong learning. I think many of us assume that once we've gotten our degree, learning stops. But I think that our degree equips us to learn more, to really, really learn. So the fact that you have logged in is a good indicator and a measure of kind of individuals you will be going forward. And I can assure you that you will not be disappointed, and continue to take advantage of opportunities that come your way like this one. So I want to also thank the team that put this together. My special thanks goes to Dr. Rebecca Minor and to Dr. Karanja Kabare for spearheading this. We hope that we can make this an annual event. Just before graduation, we speak to our students about the realities of the world of work and the world of building a career. And today, I must say, it is a great privilege to begin that journey to speaking and to empowering our students as they go out there. I know you do not want to hear from your teachers. You've had enough the past 4 years. So I want to back to Dr. Karanja to welcome our guest. Our DVCA will join us in time. He is held up in another very important meeting. When he comes, we can always give him a chance to also greet you and welcome you to this this event. So all our students to class of 2024, karibuni sana to this very important webinar. Please mind the minds of our speakers today, and that will definitely put you a step ahead of your peers. So asanteni sana and karibuni sana. Back to you, Dr. Karanja Kabare.
Thank you so much, Principal. I've not yet put on the video because of where I am. So you pardon me for that. You might not be seeing me a lot. I'll just move straight to inviting, or rather introducing, Mr. Lamek Mito. Lamek actually does not require much introduction to JKUAT. Lamek has been a friend of JKUAT over the years. Lamek has nurtured young scholars from JKUAT over the years. Lamek introduced JKUAT into a number of forums, has introduced JKUAT to a number of forums that ACCA and their partners develop as a matter of routine. Lamek was able to help nurture young students in the area of business. Students who are nurturing creativity and business leadership. And I recall that JQuad, I think this was a countrywide competition, and JQuad came on top. Our students were honored. They were the best in the republic, thanks to Lamek. Lamek has been with ACCA, I think, for the last close to 15 years. And at ACCA, Lamek interacts with a good number of students across the various tertiary institutions as well as universities. Before joining ACCA, Lamek had been in the insurance sector, having worked with a good number of notable insurance firms. And Lamek is passionate with nurturing talents, nurturing young talents, as it were, and is an accomplished career development advocate. We are privileged to have Lamek with us. Lamek, as I said, is not in unknown grounds. I'm aware Lamek handles similar activities. At least I know in about 3 universities, 2 of which I think are public or rather private universities. So we are really privileged to have Lamek as uh, the chief guest this afternoon. As has been mentioned, we are looking forward to really tapping from this fountain of professional knowledge. Without much ado, I invite Mr. Lamek Mito uh, to speak to us this afternoon. Lamek, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kabare, for that uh, lengthy introduction. It's really my pleasure to be here to also continue sharing with our students who are now they would be
Mr. Lamek,
graduates.
Mr.
May I
Lamek.
confirm if my yes?
Yeah, sorry. I was sorry for the interruption. Could we see your video, please?
I'm trying to share. I've actually set it up. I'm wondering why it's not showing.
Okay.
Can you just confirm with me if it's showing?
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's see where it went. It's showing from my end. The video is on. Let me just try to set it up again. Oh yeah. You're able to see it?
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we
Let's see
can.
now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Just in a second, I should be up and running. Great. Thank you very much, Dr. Kabare, for that introduction. It's always my pleasure to be here just to share with our young professionals, especially today, speaking to our would-be graduates. So, distinguished guests, esteemed facilitators, honored graduates, and fellow scholars, good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where you are streaming in from. Today marks a monumental occasion in your lives, a day of triumph, reflection, and limitless potential. It is an immense honor to stand before you at this pivotal moment as you transition from graduates to professionals poised to shape the future. The journey you have undertaken is nothing short of extraordinary, and I am thrilled to speak on a topic of profound significance, the role of professional bodies in career development. In an ever-evolving job market reshaped by technological advancements, globalization, and economic shifts, professional bodies are the unsung heroes guiding us through the maze of career growth. You've reached this milestone through sheer hard work, dedication, and perseverance. But let's be clear, this is just the beginning. Your path to professional greatness is like threading a camel through the eye of a needle, challenging yet immensely rewarding. Whether you are stepping into education, engineering, accounting, law, marketing, or beyond, the journey ahead will test your mettle. Take, for example, the journey to becoming a professional marketer in Kenya. It begins with obtaining a solid educational foundation, such as a degree in marketing or related field. But education alone is not enough. To truly excel, you must align yourself with a professional body like the Chartered Institute of Marketing for marketers, and membership into CIM offers numerous advantages: access to cutting-edge resources, continuous learning opportunities, and a prestigious network of industry professionals. This aligns not only this alignment not only enhances your knowledge and skills, but also sets you apart as a credible and competent professional in the field. Professional bodies, also known as professional associations, or rather societies, are the pillars supporting and advancing chosen fields. These organizations establishes standards, promote best practices, and foster a sense of community. Let us delve into how they contribute to your career development. In Kenya, for example, there are several prominent professional bodies across various fields. For instance, the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, which is for the legal professionals, the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, that is IEK, which is a body for the engineers. We also have the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Kenya, ISPAC, which is a body for the accountants, and the Kenya Medical Associations for the health professionals. And also, in addition, we have global professional bodies like SCCA, where I'm actually speaking from. We have CIM, we have CIMA, we have CFA, among others. These organizations are instrumental in guiding their respective fields and members. Firstly, professional bodies provide continuous learning opportunities through workshops, seminars, webinars, and certification programs. They offer invaluable resources to enhance your knowledge and skills. In rapidly evolving fields like technology, healthcare, and engineering, staying updated is very crucial. Engaging in these programs ensures you remain relevant and excel in your career. Secondly, these bodies set industry standards and ethical guidelines, ensuring members adhere to a code of conduct that upholds integrity and professionalism. This not only maintains public trust, but also elevates the profession's reputation. Aligning with these standards enhances your credibility and career prospects. Networking is another significant benefit from the professional bodies. The professional bodies facilitate connections with peers, mentors, and industry leaders through conferences, meetings, and social events. These networks can unlock new job opportunities, collaborations, and even partnerships, providing invaluable support and advice throughout your career. Moreover, professional bodies advocate for their members and the profession at large. Through lobbying and policy making, they influence legislation and regulations that impact your industry, protecting your working conditions and rights. This collective voice addresses issues that affect your career and work environment. Furthermore, professional bodies offers career development services such as job boards, career counseling, and mentorship programs. These services help you navigate career transitions, identify new opportunities, and develop strategic career plans. Personalized mentorship, in particular, is instrumental in overcoming challenges and achieving milestones. In conclusion, professional bodies are vital to your career development. And as a graduate, they offer you educational resources, set industry standards, facilitate networking, advocate for the profession, and provide targeted career services. Just like this morning, I was at Kempinski, where we were having our members being trained through the artificial intelligence, which is another development within the industry. Engaging with these organizations enhances your skills and expands your networks and helps you achieve your career goals. As we navigate the complexities of the modern job market, Their support and guidance are essential. Remember, you have the potential to achieve greatness. As Christian D. Larson, an influential American author and New Thought leader from 1874 to 1954, once said, "Believe in yourself and all that you are. Know that there is something inside you that is greater than any obstacle. The journey ahead may be demanding, but it is also fulfilled with endless possibilities. Embrace it with enthusiasm, determination, and an unwavering belief in your potential." Thank you for having me here today. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavors. Go out there and make a remarkable impact on the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lamek. You've made it straight to the point, as well as impactful and short. I got a little worried, Lamek, when you said that navigating this terrain is like weaving a camel through the eye of a needle. It is true that it is transiting through that terrain requires a lot of courage. Thank you, Lamek, for letting us know the variable role that professional bodies play in our lives, be it setting standards, best practices, guiding the practice, as well as members, offering continuous learning platforms. In a nutshell, these are we can't afford to ignore professional bodies, and that is where our graduates rather, need to go knocking after this, so that they can shape the their careers from an early stage. Let me invite my colleague, Dr. Rebecca, to steer us in the next phase.
Thank you very much for that presentation, our chief guest, Mr. Lamek Mito. We really appreciate those insights that you've given us from the industry, why it is important for our graduates, our graduands to join professional bodies. Thank you very much. Now, I'll want to recognize the presence of our panelists this afternoon. These are personalities in industry that, honestly speaking, I am very humbled to host them this afternoon. And some of them, actually all of them, they are brand out there. If after this session, if you will just Google them, you will be able to know what I'm talking about. Because in industry, when you mention their names, it's worth listening to. And I'm grateful that we have been able to have with us Mr. Anthony Washira. We have Grace Nzula and Jay Walemba. And I'm going to give you a snippet of who they are. I want to introduce my panelists so that we can be able to know the wealth of experience that they bring on board this afternoon. We shall have Mr. Anthony Washira, who is a coach par excellence, and he is the transitions coach, and he has so many accolades. He's an award-winning coach, an international trainer and speaker, who will be talking to us about transitions, that is from theory to practice. And he has garnered several accolades. He has been the superstar trainer for 2023 for ZD Africa Trainer Awards. He has also gotten other accolades like the Gold Trainer of the Year Awards 2023, has served clients in 5 continents, has over 300 coaching hours, and has also served over 600 senior leaders. And he has spoken to thousands of thousands of participants on live TV, webinars, podcasts, and he has so much. I cannot summarize his achievements that are quite commendable. And he prides himself as a storyteller, a facilitator, a corporate MC, and is the managing director of the Influential, a human capital development firm. And his passion is empowering teams and individuals to discover their X factor. And he's going to tell us what that involves in his short presentation. And he has over 12,000 clients, a very rich portfolio across 5 continents, and he has worked with very many reputable organizations and has the service excellence and customer experience. He's very experienced in that, in leadership and communication. He has trainer of trainers, and he optimizes diverse teams and team coaching. So he will introduce himself, and he will tell us more of the work that he does as a catalyst to enhance the change process, to help people learn and unlearn and relearn. And his role today will be telling us, we have equipped you graduates with the skills, with the technical skills. From here, what next? So transitioning from theory to practice. Our second panelist is Grace Nzula, who will be telling us about employability skills and personal branding. CHRPK Grace Nzula is a powerhouse in the HR field, and she's a moderator of choice. Actually, I feel very small doing this today. I'm sure, Grace, you will give me my scorecard after this session on my performance as a moderator. She has moderated very big events. She's a powerhouse, and I'm very glad that you honored our invite. She's an experienced human resource professional specializing in winning people and culture, organizational learning and development. And she's also the managing director of Atara Solutions, which has really impacted the HR professionals. She's a triple award winner, 2023. She has very many accolades: Knowledge Impact Award 2012, the most inspiring female HR and HR trendsetter in Kenya. She's a content creator in learning and development space. She's a trainer and conference speaker, and is passionate about training, empowerment, and membership. And she also serves as a consultant in several, and a corporate trainer to several corporations, and also sits in many corporate boards. And she has done so much. And my appeal to you, the audience in this call, please get to know these people in depth. You get their profiles on LinkedIn and see the kind of work they're doing. Grace is also a manager at Panelist Training Institute, which is a carpentry school, and she has done so much, so much in the industry. Our third panelist is Mr. Jairus Walemba. We call him Jay. And this is if you want to have a job, if you want to brand yourself, if you want to just make a name for yourself out there, Jairus will make you look good by JCVs. And he is also a triple award winner and serving as the visionary founder and CEO of Jairus Service, that is JCVs. And in his esteemed role, Jay is dedicated to signify enhancing the employability prospects of job seekers. So he will transform your CVs. He will help you in cover letter writing, LinkedIn optimization, interview coaching, and career guidance. So his work has really extended borders. And he has made impactful contributions and is a consultant with the International Labour Organization and also on digital job search skills in many countries. And he is very good in LinkedIn optimization and helping people to look good on paper. And also, when you appear in that interview, he's going to bring out your strengths and your skills. And he's also involved in many engagements in mentorship in schools and what have you. And his work and influence has transcended audiences through media features, and the list goes on and on. And I cannot finish the introduction. So we shall get to know them better as we go along. And we will start by engaging Anthony Wachira, who is a transitions coach, because this in itself is a transition, I believe, and is going to tell us what does it involve now that you have been equipped with skills, with technical skills, and you are at the verge of starting a new phase in life. What do you expect? And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'll welcome our first panelist, Mr. Anthony Wachira. Thank you, Anthony. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you.
You can hear me?
Thank you very much. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Karibu sana.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. And it is a privilege.
Team, you can. Thank you.
All right. It is a great honor for me to be speaking today to the graduates. One of the things that I enjoy doing is impacting and imparting young people. So I feel that I'm in the right place. It was a great speech that we listened to, and we are going to build on that. And like Dr. Rebecca said, I am a transitions coach. I help people discover their X factor. I help them figure out what their strengths are. I help them figure out what their passions are. I help people figure out what their values are. And I help them combine those three to find that X factor in different seasons, in different transitions of their lives. So today, I'm talking about from theory to practice, and I even want to caption it into bracket from academic or from the academia, or kind of the linkage between academia and the industry. I believe that we are all in transitions all the time, and that what is happening with the graduates is an important transition. They are coming from full-time learners. I can make that assumption into full-time workers. I can also make that assumption to create the effect I want to create around transitions. And transitions are major changes, life-altering changes in our lives. All transitions have change in them, but not all changes are transitions. Some changes are minor. They do not affect our lives big time, but some are major and they affect our lives big time. Moving from uni to go to work is one of those changes, because in your young adult life, you come into the world, you come to the school of hard knocks, you come to our world, we, the older generation, the world that we have built. So you will find boomers, you will find Generation X, you will find millennials, you will find us all in that place. Whereas in your learning space, you are with a more homogeneous group, your students, and then you are working together with your lecturers who are actually part of our generations. But now when you come to the workplace, now you work together. You are coming to earn a living. You're coming to build your life. So one of the things that I want to insist that you want to become when you come into this new world, when you transition to our world, is that you have to learn to learn. Now, when you are in uni, when you are in college, most of the times we learn to pass exams. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. You need to get the degree. The degree will get you into the door. So a lot of times we get all this information, but we need to pass some exams. We need to pass some checks so that we can get the paper. In the workplace, you learn to apply. And one of the things that we were being told about professional bodies that help us learn, they just sharpen our skills as we are applying them. So if you have done CPAs, as most of you probably have, those are skills, that is akin to what you're coming to do in the workplace. You'll be sharpening your skills a bit more and more for the application purposes, because you probably have a degree in accounting, but you still want to do, or are required to do that, to do CPAs by the accounting bodies for you to be allowed to practice as an accountant. So one of the things we're going to do is to learn how to learn. And one of the things that you want to think about is the skills that machines can't learn. AI was mentioned as one of the things that is disrupting what we are used to as humans. So your papers will get you through the door, but your emotional intelligence, you're going to get more intelligences now, how you work with people. Those are the skills that are going to help you in this transition. When you get in there, your growth, your progress, your promotions, they will not be dependent on the papers that you brought in when you got the job. It is your interactions, it is your efforts, it is how well you work with others. And I know that Grace and Zula will be talking about employability skills. That is one of them, your emotional intelligence and how you work with people. So one of the things I want to build up on was said is networking. In the interim, network as much as you can. Network within your peers, network outside of your peers, network with your lecturers. Use your lecturers to connect you to people that they know. Connect with us. Use LinkedIn. I believe LinkedIn is one of the most powerful platforms and most underused platforms in helping people build a career. LinkedIn will help you connect with people who can open doors for you. LinkedIn will help you connect, or within LinkedIn, you will connect the people that, if you are already on LinkedIn, the people that you are connected with will connect you to others who will open opportunities for you. And that is a skill that you want to learn, how to network. And when you are networking, think of it this way. You want to network with people who can open doors for you. So you want to network with people who can add value to your life. You want to network with people whose lives you can add value to as well. So seek to add some value. So research. If you want to be on LinkedIn, figure out how to create content that adds value. Figure out to add value to content that is created by the people that you want to connect with. And that will also help you position yourself. It will also help you brand yourself, showcase your genius. What do you know? What do you have to offer? Show that out there on LinkedIn as you are connecting. The other thing that I want you to remember as you're transitioning, transitions require humility. To learn, you have to be humble. When you are the last year in uni, you are top of the cream. You are the senior most. When you come to the workplace, you are the junior most. We own this space. So you are learning from us. So you are learning to learn requires humility. Yes, you can teach us. Yes, we can learn from you. But you can't tell us how to be, but you can tell yourself how to be. So teach yourself to be humble, teach yourself to learn, and make your contribution. You will also need to be adaptable. Again, I talked about the many generations that are there. You will need to adapt your style of communication to us because we own that space. We welcome your contribution, but some of us are hard. We are not flexible. You need wisdom. You need adaptability to work around those people. Remember, humility and adaptability. Adaptability will be important because some people will get jobs before others. Some people, it takes longer. So don't measure your life against that one of another person. Your transition is unique to you. Your journey is unique. So take your time, put in the work, be humble, adapt. The world today has been called VUCA, which means volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It's been called many names. It's also been called BANI. It's been called BANI, stands for brittle, anxiety-inducing, nonlinear, and incomprehensible. So the world is changing at a very rapid pace. And learning to learn will help you keep up with the changes because you know how to learn. And you being young people, that's a skill you have better than we do, we older people, because you have been learning all this time. Do not lose the learning to learn and learning to learn for application. So you will be learning so many things that are working with us. The pace of change at the workplace, a new workplace than the one that we are used to, than the one that we are used to. And yet we are the ones leading you in that workplace. So another skill that you want to embrace is being uncomfortable, is being comfortable with discomfort, rather. You will be uncomfortable. Growth never happens in the comfort zone. So prepare yourself to be a little uncomfortable. Don't be too comfortable. If you're too comfortable, chances are you're not growing. So you want to challenge yourself to do things. You want to challenge yourself to get out of the comfort zone. You want to challenge yourself to grow. One last thing that I want to add is you need to have vision. Vision becomes your true north. Vision becomes your guiding light. Vision helps you know what you want to do and for whom you want to do that. Vision is what will help you create your impact. Vision is what will help you make your contribution. Now, vision is not necessarily to be an engineer. It's not necessarily to be an accountant. Is beyond that. Why do you want to be an accountant? What do you want to do with that? Vision is not wanting to be a pilot. It is what you want to do with that. So you need to clarify that. And remember at the beginning, I said that I help people find their X factor. You want to tap into your strengths. Your strengths here are your talents. Your strengths are your gifts. Your strengths are your inclinations. Your strengths are the knowledge that you have, the degree that you have. You want to figure out your array of strengths. There are many. Some are hidden. Some are obvious. Some have been covered by layers of what we've told you to not do as adults, as peers, as parents, etc., etc. You want to know your strengths. There are a full array of them. You also want to know your passions. Your passions are what makes you tick, the things that you enjoy doing. You want to know the array of that as well. In the same breath, some of them have been covered by us. Some of them have been stopped because you are concentrating on school and you had to put some of them aside. So you want to discover all of your passions. And the last thing you want to do, according to me, is know your values. Your values become your guardrails. Your values become your protection. Your values help you know what you can do and what you don't want to do. They help you know how far you can go. And the intersection of those three will help you find your X factor for this season. So you can tap into some of your strengths for this season. You can tap into some of your passions for this season, and you can tap into your values. Because I believe that finding your X factor, the place where your strengths, the place where your strengths and intersections and values intersect for that season, it allows you to give your best contribution for that season. You have given your best contribution while in school, and that is why you're getting your degree. Now figure out what you need for that next season because you are in transition. I love ending with this quote by Alvin Toffler. The illiterate of the 21st century are not those who will not read or who do not know how to read or write. Someone needs to be muted. It is those who cannot learn, unlearn, or relearn. So learn to learn. Life is a continuous learning journey. And no one is exempt, not us.
Kindly mute yourself, Elias.
You can hear us.
Kindly help me, tech team, kindly help me mute.
Okay, thank you very much. So I was winding up and saying that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write. It will be those who cannot learn, unlearn, or relearn. And that was said by Alvin Toffler. Learning is learning new things. Unlearning is changing your way. Some of the things that you thought were good, you need to unlearn them. It is like quitting smoking or getting out of an addiction or a habit that is wrong that you want to quit to help you move forward. So we need to keep unlearning. Relearning is learning something that you knew, but you've not been practicing. And I'm encouraging you to adopt that mindset. Your mindset is your greatest superpower. Keep it in check, keep sharpening it, and you will make a wonderful transition. All the very best. Thank you very much.
Wow. 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 Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Wachira, for that insightful presentation. We need to learn, be humble, be comfortable with discomfort, be adaptable, own your personal journey, be authentic, know your vision and your values. Thank you very, very much for those insights from a transition perspective. Now that we have been empowered in knowing where we are at currently, so how do we proceed from where we are to the next level? And that is where Ms. Nzula comes in, Grace, to tell us what are some of the skills that employers are looking for in terms of making us now apply. Now we have already understood the terrain we are getting into. What are these skills that employers are looking for as we join the world of work? Welcome, Grace.
Right. Thank you, Rebecca, Dr. Rebecca. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for having us. And of course, it's a pleasure to see you, Anthony, on this call. Anthony is a good friend of mine as well. So just to probably build on what Anthony has spoken about, I think the one thing that I probably wanted to add is a mindset shift or mindset change. I think what happens mostly after campus, we have been cultured to go to school. After school, we are going to get jobs, and then we are going to kickstart our lives. Probably some of you can't wait to move out of your parents' homes. Probably some of you can't wait you're not going back to Ushago after graduation, so you want to keep that house at JKUAT. There are all these transitions that we have in our minds on what we need to do. We are ambitious, we have things to do. However, you get out of here, out of college, and you realize that kwa ground, mambo ni different. And therefore, I think one of the most important skills that you need to have, or one of the things that can help you in navigating that time, is your change of mindset. Because you need to probably, like Antonia said, be adaptable, yes. Most of it will be psychological adaptability, not necessarily just moving out to probably your place of living or physical, whatever. But the change that you might experience may require you to have a different mindset. There's the ideal, there's what you want, there's what you're looking for. Then there is what is the actual reality, which is what is on ground. So that part, we may need to really work on your mindset, and it will really save your life at some point. So yes, I think Dr. Rebecca, you had introduced us, and it's amazing to be here. So I think in terms of what employers are looking for, the first thing that employers are looking for at this point in time is they're looking for people who can problem solve. If you're this person who you like complaining, you keep seeing problems, you're always seeing how there are no jobs in Kenya, you're always seeing how young people are being mistreated, you're always seeing that opportunities are for those who know each other, you're always seeing that there are all these challenges that we have in life. If your mindset is such that you only see problems, then you might have a challenge in the workplace, because what employers are looking for is somebody who can help them solve problems. And this goes out even to those who want to go and establish their own businesses or become entrepreneurial. Having problem-solving ability will really, really take you miles, because if you can be able to solve a problem, if you're coming to me, for example, I'm your employer, and you're coming to me with a problem, I would really expect that you also give a possible solution. So I will ask, what do you think we should do? So that then you also need to think about solutions. So we are looking for problem-solving skills, and that is a skill that you need to cultivate as you prepare to join the job market. And it will really help you in terms of even coexisting in the workplace with other people. And this goes out, even if you want to, for example, you're a photographer and you want to go solo, unless you can solve my problems, unless you can define, you're able to even see my issue and come up with and see it as an opportunity instead of seeing it as a problem. You know, everyone says that Kenya sahi ni kugumu. Everyone is complaining about the economy. And then we still have billionaires in the country. We still have millionaires in the country. What makes them so special? We still have some organizations are automating. They are declaring redundancies. And then others are out there recruiting for other people. So we need to see opportunities amidst whatever chaos that we might face on the after campus. So problem-solving skills is one of those skills that you really, really cannot do without. And then we have flexibility. We are living in a changing world. And I think Anthony has talked about the VUCA world. And we have also gone to the bunny world. You cannot really predict what's going to happen, from technological advancement to organizations change, because even the strategies we are doing in the business world right now, they are not 5-year strategies. We are actually doing, let's do a 3-year strategy, but most importantly, let's come up with tasks for 1 year. And then we shall review and see whether we are still relevant in the job market, or rather in the market, so that we can be able to now do another strategy. So imagine if businesses are doing that. You as an individual, it requires of you to actually be flexible. So if you're here thinking that you will leave campus and the first job you get will be paying you 50,000, it's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's not for many, honestly. Not many people will give you internship and pay you 30,000. Not many people will give you internship and pay you 50,000. You probably may even have to pay these organizations to get your internship. That requires flexibility. That requires you to adjust and adopt to whatever it is that you thought would happen after campus. So we need to be flexible. We have ambition, we have dreams, and it's fine to dream. But the dream is only a dream until you put it into action. So we need to action our dreams and be sure, be aware that it's a process. So employers want you to be flexible, because today they want you to deliver on this. In the afternoon, they want you to deliver on another thing. You know, today they want you to work. If you're lucky enough to get an organization that wants full work from home, that's fine. You get another one which cannot. The nature of their businesses, you have to show up every day and work 8 hours a week, or rather a day. So at that point, you really need to be flexible, and you need to be very patient with yourself as well. Now, what else are employers looking for? We are looking for communication skills. You have to be able to express yourself. You come for an interview, and I'm sure Jairus will probably be alluding to this. You come for an interview, and we're asking you simple questions. Because internship, we really don't go too far. Entry level questions will be very basic. But you really need to know, for example, a question which is the most feared question in the world of our interviews is, tell us about yourself. Normally, I can tell you there's never a right or wrong answer on that one. But you really need to know who you are for you to be able to answer that question. You need to know what skills you're bringing on board for you to answer that question. But you need not only just knowing. I don't know whether you saw that meme where they say that it sounded really good in my head, yeah? But when it comes out, it is full of, what do we call it? Accent, you know? So your communication skills, are you confidently communicating? Are you confidently expressing yourself? Are you able to speak in business language? I tell you, the biggest challenge we've been having with young people is, number one, they cannot construct a full English sentence. It is that bad. And we are saying we may want to concentrate on the soft skills, but you may say that you don't have experience, but communication is a soft skill. It's something that you need to work on as an individual. It's something that you really need to cultivate. Communication is a skill that you can learn over a period of time. And I have a friend of mine who we were with in high school, and she used to have the R and L issue. And I'm telling you, until she got married and got these children who used to laugh at her every time she called me Glaze. And I can tell you that woman went through learning the English language. And as we speak today, today, do you know she does not shrug? In fact, I keep saying, oh my God, you stopped calling me Glaze. You know, and she became conscious and she did something about it. So communication skills. By the way, let me tell you something. You're done blaming your parents. It is now you and the world. So you cannot tell us that you were born in Nyarugunga, now you cannot change the way you speak. You can. How come you can learn French at this point in time? And you want to tell us you cannot learn English? So get accustomed to using English and communicating in business language. That will take you places because you're able to interpret. For example, if you happen to join, what do we call it? Manufacturing industry, we give you a job card. If you're given a job card, we expect that you're able to translate or interpret what is on that job card. If, for example, you join the media industry, we expect you to be able to run and collect information and be able to translate, right? So if you're here and you do not polish your business language, you really need to start working on it, because that is what will set you apart. In a world where everyone speaks in complete sentences, or we want to call me Glaze, in a world that is like that, stand out and be able to pronounce Rodney without feeling, or Rosalind without Rosrin, you know, because you can, by the way. So communication skills, be able to, I'm not saying that you go and change your accent. I'm just challenging you to take action. But then, because there are some that probably you'd rather die before you do it. But communication skills is not necessarily just about the accent. It's also, how do you write? How do you write? How do you apply for this job? By the way, some of you are applying for a job and then you do a forward of a job that you have applied for 20 people. My God. You know, we have to actually flip through your application on email to actually get to your attachment. You do not apply for the job properly. If you're applying to Atara Solutions, you apply the job to Atara Solutions. If you're going to apply for a job at Influential, you write to Influential. Don't take your application from Influential and bring it to Atara Solutions. It doesn't work. We are both looking for different things. We are both in L&D. We are both in learning and development. But Tony will be looking for something. I will be looking for something. Totally different. Jairus is into CV writing and employability skills. So what Jairus, Anthony, and myself will be looking for may be one title, but the skills we are looking for will be very different. So you need to customize your application documents, and that is how we start looking for your communication skills. And of course, when we call you for an interview, how do you express yourself? Are you able to articulate issues? Are you able to articulate or listen and answer, you know? And then you don't come for an interview and you just say pass, 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 and look very uninterested. That, my friend, is not going to help you in the workplaces. And then the other thing that you need to do is learn. You need to create a self, you need to challenge yourself to learn new things all the time. You need to challenge yourself to keep up with times. I keep saying, if you're a new graduate, have you done a list of like 10 organizations you want to work for? Have you also done a background and looked at what exactly do these people look for? Have you gone to their socials and looked at what exactly do they post? What are they into? And then on that piece of paper, ask yourself, how do my skills speak to this organization? How can I access an opportunity in this organization? These are things, by then looking for a job is a full-time job. So you really need to take it seriously. And I tell you, take it seriously over and over again. You will get the opportunity. But I challenge you, go and read that book that you call What Got You Here Will Not Get You There. If I give you an opportunity for an internship, do it so well that even when I cannot keep you, I will call Anthony or Jairus and say, by the way, do you have an opportunity? We have to let this person go, but they are really good at what they do. Let us remember you because you did such an amazing job Not to be the person who says, sorry, I worked up to midnight yesterday, so I'll come, I need 2 days off. And you're like, oh, and by the way, we are not asking you to slave. No, we are not asking you to slave. But if you're working in a sensible organization, if you work until midnight, they might allow you to come in later the next day. You guys are very lucky. Some of us used to work until 1 a.m. and at 5 o'clock, you need to deliver a tender to Embu. And you'll need to go to Embu and stick there the whole day. By the time you get back to your house, it's 9 p.m. the next day. And probably right now, employers are becoming a bit easy. It depends on the organization you get. So when we're talking about this, you really need to be able to stand out, yeah? And then, so you need to create a culture of learning for yourself. And also, when you go to these organizations, for you to get an opportunity, you actually need to have curiosity, want to learn, you know, demonstrate that you want to learn, demonstrate that you have the potential to actually grow. There are people we retain, not because they know what they're doing, but because they have the potential to actually get to grow for themselves. And then on a personal level, what do we expect from you? What are some of the skills that will help you? I think we've talked about learning. Learning includes social skills, emotional intelligence, your relational intelligence, your leadership development. Have the curiosity to learn and become a better version of yourself. Now, learn to understand who you are. I think you're going into a season of discovery. And as you go into a season of discovery, it is very good to also take stock. Who are you? And this will also help you when you're answering the question, tell us about yourself. Who are you? And stay authentic in definition of who you are. You're going to get a lot of character development as you go out there. But how resilient are you? Are you agile? Are you able to adapt? Are you able to keep going regardless of how thick things get? And then the other challenge I would like to give you is discipline. And I would like to tell you, you need to cultivate discipline of thought, discipline as a person, and discipline in action. You need to discipline your mind. You need to discipline you as a person, and you need to have action, or rather, use discipline in your actions. If you lack discipline, then I tell you, you will not exist properly, or rather, excel, until you create a culture of discipline, until you create your thoughts. What goes on in your mind? Every time you get a rejection, what are you thinking about? Every time you get an opportunity to go in, you're not this, you know, there's somebody who told us the other day that I cannot come to work because we don't have water in our flat. Like, what do you mean? And then that takes us to problem-solving abilities. Because if you don't have water in your flat, so am I supposed to bring you a Bowser in your place for you to shower or what? You know? You need to be able to find solutions. Mkoko guys are there. Can you go and get a gallon of water? Come take your shower and come to work. Because the same way you expect a pay at the end of the month is the same way I expect input within the month. That's just how it works. You know, you give, I give. It's a trade. You give your skills, I'll pay for your skills. So what makes you stand out in a world where everyone is looking for the same thing? What is it that makes you stand up? Now, in terms of your personal branding, I've talked about those personal attributes that you need to be able to exist in this world. You need to be able to offer something to the world. And this is the part where I'm saying you are in a discovery phase. What are you good at this point in time? What have you learned about yourself? What have you learned about your ability to interact with the other people? What are some of the skills? Have you been volunteering at school? Are there things that you've done in your institution that you can leverage to stand out as you come into the job market? Is there a differentiator? So normally in branding, I keep saying it is about discovering what you can offer the world. Unfortunately, a lot of people think branding is about what the world can offer you. It doesn't work like that. Branding is about what can you offer to the world. You offer it to the world and the world will give it back. So you need to invest in your emotional bank account. And that means you need to be there for your friends. You need to have a good relationship with your networks. Your network need to trust you. Your network needs to be sure that when they give you an opportunity, you're not going to be, I will not be called and be told, by the way, Grace, that person you referred here, how do you know them? I do not want to go through that. I would like to refer you because I know that my brand, because you're going to go with brand Grace, my brand is safe because you're going to deliver. So as you create your brand, what is it that we can trust about you? What is it that you can offer the world that the world can start trusting you? And then it always pays back. So you need to invest in your emotional bank account. You need to invest in your social bank account. You cannot withdraw if you have not invested, you know? And then you need to also stay woke, be aware. For example, right now, if you want to go into the job market, have you done research to know who are the top 20 recruiters in Kenya? Have you gone and done your research to know what are the systems that are being used in recruitment right now? And then have you gone ahead and asked, how can I get to 1, 2, 3 positions? Yeah. This is by the way, let me tell you, you're fortunate that your organization is planning for this. But I tell you what, you have to do the work yourself. You cannot be the person who comes for an interview with their mother or father or guardian. You need to come for an interview because you're ready and you will show up on time, and be patient. Be patient until your turn comes. We were doing some recruitments for government the other day. We were finishing at 8 p.m. We had not predicted what will happen during the day. The last candidates left that boardroom at 8 p.m. So, and you're like, imagine for the younger guys, they will not be patient like that. And then unfortunately, those are the things that you get only one chance. So you will end up hiring the 2 who are left behind and not go looking for other people. So we really need to kujituma. We need to get out there. We need to work on our skills. We also need to make sure that we are tapping into our networks. And then if you come to LinkedIn and you're inboxing, for example, me, you come and say, Grace, I am looking for internship and blah, 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 blah. That's okay. I will take note. But what will make me remember, because I think in a day I get about 10 requests on LinkedIn. What will make me remember you? What is this brand that you've put there? What do you post? Then you come and friend request me, you don't have a photo, or the photo you have is you with the tasker. Then I'm like, ooh, we are not touching this. Because unfortunately, in the African culture, we are a conservative culture. So in the workplaces, unfortunately, we are not there yet. We are not where we'll say that, please, whatever you put on LinkedIn will not affect my view. I will judge you because of how you present yourself out there. So LinkedIn is supposed to be used for your official official outlook. It's supposed to be corporate. So whatever you put out there, and I'm sure Jairus will be discussing that. So in terms of creating your brand, those things you have been posting in college on your Facebook, either you do away with that account or you delete them. It's time to have a different persona, because we will come and do background checks. And even if there is data protection, we will not tell you what we have seen, but it will help us make decisions. So whatever decisions we make will be informed by quite a number of things in your socials, or as we check out your former employers. And I keep saying, if you are an attaché, you know, we know each other in the HR space. I tell you, we know each other so badly that I see a document and I'm like, oh, wait, this one came through Rebecca. Rebecca, hi. I've seen there's this lady or this gentleman who was working at JQuat as an intern. What do you have to say about them? Then Rebecca will be like, I don't know them. Let me get in touch with my colleague and then we'll let you know. That is unsolicited information. That is not official conversation. So as your brand is represented, not just what you post online, it's also how you carry yourself and how you do what you say you will do. So you need to commit to building a brand, an authentic brand of who you are, and a brand that will help you stand the test of time in these workplaces. Now, I am the kind of person who is paid to talk. So back to you, Rebecca. I can talk here forever.
Thank you very much, Grace. I know, hey, wow. I hope our graduates are listening, because whatever you're hearing this afternoon, I tell you, when we are out there, we pay dollars to hear what these industry experts are telling us. And thank you so much for sharing with us what employers are looking for: problem-solving skills, flexibility, adaptability to change, communication. You know, Grace, I will tell you for a fact that there is a common and compulsory unit on communication skills in the university that we offer. But most of our students do not really see its importance until they get out here. That's when it actually now starts to make sense what we were trying to tell them. So continuous learning, being curious, working on social skills, and all those that you have had. Be woke. Mkuwe mnajituma. So thank you so much, Grace, for those insights on what we need, how we need to package ourselves so that we are able to have what our employers are looking for. Now, I'll go to my next panelist, who is now the person to make us look good. After we have discovered, after we have known the skills that employers are looking for, now Jay will help us now look good in front of that employer. And he will talk to us about CV writing and how do we look good on paper? How do we look good on LinkedIn? Grace has mentioned LinkedIn. Well, most welcome, Mr. Jay Walemba, a very good friend of mine. So carry it away. Tell us, what do we need to do?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be speaking to the graduates, something that I've been doing for a very long time. And I feel honored to be part of this session. So I'll be talking about CV writing and LinkedIn optimization. So for me, CV writing is something that I do passionately. I train people on CV writing. I train people on interviews, and also just helping them align with their careers. So the first question that comes from job seekers is that we don't have experience. How can we be able to gain that experience? How can we be able to have the skills on the CV on paper? So I always advise that as long as I've gone to university, done the 4 years, you're out of university or you're ready to exit now, you should always, at least you should have some experience. We don't only talk about the attachment experience or internship. You might not have had the opportunity to get an internship or attachment, but what happens is that any that will help you gain skills that will enable you, the next employer hire you, as skills that are key, and you should have them on your CV. How do we gain experience? First, to have it on our CVs. The first thing you need to do, you need to involve yourself in volunteering activities. I was talking to another student from a different university, and I was telling her that you're on long holiday. What is your plan? So once you're on long holiday, you approach that person, even the person with a shopkeeper around or a small supermarket around, even the person said or water vendor. Approach them and tell them that I'm so and so. I have this. I'm on long holiday. I'm seeking to gain experience in handling customers or even in managing the workshop floor in a supermarket. So this person, I'm sure if you tell them that you are ready to volunteer, they'll give you an opportunity rather than spending time sleeping, spending time watching movies, or spending time on social media platforms. So a good CV is key to help you get your next job. For us who are exiting school, university, the first thing you need to consider is that you need to have a CV as your marketing tool. When we advertise for positions, even the internship positions, we get overwhelming applications. For example, when you're exiting JQuat, you are thousands of you. Another university has thousands of people exiting. There are those that exited last year and the other years that have never gotten even the internship opportunities. Is because of their branding. They might have a CV that is not well written or well presented. So you need to have a CV that explains to you. You need to have a CV that explains to that potential employer that you are the person they need to get, and you are the person that will make them. You are the person that will help the company solve the problems they have. So what happens is that we need to understand the companies are looking for problem solvers, and it's not that we are coming to solve problems that there are no other people that can solve. You are the person that is coming to solve a problem that it's not a problem like we can say that there's a problem of unblocking sewers or maybe blocked culverts. What you're coming to solve in the organization, you are bringing your skills to be able to work together with other people to meet the organizational goals. And meeting those organizational goals means that your CV should be short and precise. I advise that you have a CV. For us that are fresh graduates, you have a CV that's at most 1.5 pages. And this CV should have, the contents should be the first you should have the name and contact details, where you have now your name, email address, and telephone number. Then if you have your official post office address, you can have it there as well. Then the second part of that CV should and tell us who you are in terms of your professional journey and what you're looking for. For fresh graduates, I advise that you can be very intentional on writing your professional summary to an extent that you talk about a specific that you want to work into. For example, if you've done industrial chemistry, you understand that with industrial chemistry, you might not have opportunities in the service industry, maybe in the or in the hospitality industry. So you make a CV that is very intentional on your summary. You talk about your interest in working in a manufacturing setup. So the third part now on a CV is what we call now the technical skills. We call them the job content skills. When talking about job content skills, we mean that those are skills that are gotten on the job. You can the hard skills or job content skills can only be gotten through practicing that position, and they vary from one position to another or from one profession to another. Then number 4 aspect is what you call now the professional and academic qualifications. What you've done at school now is the academic qualifications. So you have the academic qualifications to be able to do a specific role. And once now you start specializing, you have you start working on CPA, you start working on CHRP in HR or CIPS in procurement. Now you add the title professional and academic qualifications. On professional and academic qualifications, we have the course that you've done, the school that you are in, or the university. Then we have the high school, and then the years you completed. On the fifth part is what you call now the referees. The working experience. Working experience, we talk about it. The working experience will help us extract skills that are relevant to the job that you're looking for, or extract skills that will help you get the next job. For entry-level positions, recruiters are not so keen on looking at the hard skills you've gotten through the experience, but they are keen on looking at your skills to relate, how you can be able to relate with people, how you can be able to, how is your attitude, especially now during an interview. Are you enthusiastic? Are you a person that has got good interpersonal skills? So are you a person that has got good communication skills? All those skills now should come out clearly in your CV. Then the last part in your CV should be the referees. We talk about having referees that are professional. Some of us, we've had candidates that write their deans as referees, and they have never interacted even with that dean. So when the deans are called, they're not even able to remember those students. So what you need to do, you need to seek content from a professional referee so that they can give you consent. And once you get an interview opportunity, you need to notify them, tell them that I've been invited for an interview. In case now you have you receive a call based on this position, just notice me and you can recommend me in a positive light. So all those details on a CV should be able to help you land the next job. Your CV should always have a CV page number and the CV name. Most of us will call our CVs curriculum vitae or null. So talk about ensuring that talk about a CV that has a professional name. When you even save the document, you save it with at least 2 of your official names. One thing that I was about to forget is when talking about the email addresses, there are some of us, because we've been in school and maybe you are on several social media platforms, we end up not talking about, we end up not, using email addresses that are not official. So an email address you'll have at least your one official name and the second one official name, and maybe the other one should be an initial, and then at gmail.com. So make sure that we stick to having official names and on the CV and even the email address. Something small about LinkedIn optimization. LinkedIn is a social media a platform where it gives us a digital representation of who we are. So when this digital representation of who you are, it means that you should be very professional on that. So the first thing you need to consider when joining LinkedIn is that you need to have a clear and high quality photo, professional photo, where you, any potential employer or any people that you're connecting with, even your mentors, can be able to see who you are and see the seriousness even from the appearance on your profile. So you need to have a photo that is of high quality and approachable. Number 2, you need to have a clear headline on your LinkedIn profile. When you're talking about a headline, for example, you are seeking internship opportunities in accounting, you can talk about accounts intern, or talk about some of the skills in accounting that you feel will be relevant for any employer that is looking, seeking interns through LinkedIn. Number 3 aspect that you need to consider is that you need to be very intentional on your connections. You need to check quality over quantity. When connecting, connect with people in your industry, connect with people that will help you build your profile, connect with people that will help you grow professionally, people who can advise you, people that can also relate with what you are posting. The number 4 aspect that you need to do on LinkedIn is that you need to engage in conversations on LinkedIn. Comment on other people's posts, like their posts, and also be able to share if it's content that is making sense and also resonates with who you are and what you want to be in future. The number 6 aspect on LinkedIn is that we have skills, the hard skills that you have on profiles. When doing the hard skills, you need to ensure that the hard skills that you are sharing on LinkedIn are able to feature on your profile. You need to select skills that are able to feature on your profile and ask people for endorsements. When people endorse you, it means that they trust you are proficient in that specific skill. If it's about CV writing, or if it's about payroll management, or if it's about recruitment and selection, people will endorse you for that skill. And anyone who needs such services, or anyone who wants to hire you in a role, can be able to quickly capture that on a CV, on your profile. Then the other aspect is seeking recommendations, having recommendations on your CV. When you have when you are recommended on your LinkedIn profile, it makes anyone who is looking at your profile get interested in who you are. They want to know, why did this person recommend you? How good are you in a specific area, or how good are you in terms of performing a specific role? So when you get these recommendations, it makes it so easy for the people that are looking at your profile, or for anyone that is headhunting, to be able to choose you over other people. So make sure that you seek authentic recommendations from the people that you've worked with, or from the people that know you, your mentors or your colleagues, so that they can be able to help you build that professional profile. And when talking about, I always talk about, if you have been in a company for more than 3 months, you should be able to at least have 2 or 3 achievements or accomplishments that you can post on your LinkedIn profile. The same should apply to your CV. At least have achievements, and achievements that you have on either on your CV or on your profile should be quantifiable. talk about having been able to support the development of an advanced technological system in an organization that save the organization costs or save the organization money. And when you're talking about saving organization money or increasing the organizational proficiency, you talk about a percentage. How much did it save the organization, or from what percentage did it save the organization? So you make sure, did it improve the efficiency? So you make sure that you can be able to quantify those achievements. Someone has talked about an ATS system, ATS CV. When you're talking about an ATS CV, is that an ATS CV is a CV that can be able to go through the system while analyzing your CV and the job description that you've CV and the job description, or your CV and the cover letter, and it can be able to go through the system and reach a human being. So ATS systems, when talking about an ATS CV, we mean that you should be able to pick keywords directly from the CV or from the job description and add them in your CV to be able to meet that. And why we do this is we're doing this because someone might not invite you for an interview before your CV goes through that. So make sure that the CV that you're doing, we talk about customizing a CV every time you apply for a job. When you're talking about customizing a CV, we mean that you should be able to match that CV to the job that you're applying for so that you can be able to meet those skills. And when talking about soft skills might not, you might have, they might ask for 3 or 4 soft skills in a job advert. When they ask for those skills, soft skills, make sure that you can have a last line on the summary, on the professional summary. Last line on the professional summary can be part of those skills, and can be part of those skills. And then you can now pass through. There are several tools online that you can be able to do. Several tools online that you can be able to use to analyze the CV and the cover letter that you and the job description, so that you see what score it gives you on the CV, and then you can be able to when these tools will also guide you on the areas that you are deficient, and then you can be able to improve that. Another thing that I can talk about on CV, on the LinkedIn profile is about on LinkedIn you are able to upskill. You are able to learn new skills on LinkedIn. When you learn these skills, especially when you register on LinkedIn Learning, you are able now to upskill and be able to post the same on your profile as well. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Daktari, I think if there are any questions, I can be able to respond to them.
Thank you very much, Mr. J. I know we are not being able, we are merely scratching the surface of all these things we are talking about. So for the participants, the clarion call from us is continue learning, continue finding out what can be done to add on to this. I like what Jay has told us on CV writing and how to optimize. I know there's so much to say about it, but it was amazing. Yesterday, we had some conversation on Gen AI with Atara Solutions. Grace is here. And it is amazing how AI is being utilized in terms of sifting through this CV, sifting through a lot of applications. Before, if you have 3,000 applications, it's able to sift through even before you get to the next stage. So what we have been told, what Jay has just clarified, is that we need to customize our CV so that the AI language can also shortlist us. We can be able to align ourselves to what is required by the employers. Thank you very much for those insights from a CV writing perspective. And I like the conversation we are having this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not be able to go really in depth in all these areas because we are just highlighting the most important, and there's so many things. There's a lot of content that we have not been able to go through. Now, for the interest of time, I'm going to look at what you are asking on the chat, and I will start with our first presenter. Mr. Lamek, there's somebody asking about there was something about, can advanced training certificates be considered as professional qualifications? So you could help us with that, answer that, Mr. Lamek. Can advanced training certificates be considered as professional qualifications?
Thank you very much, Daktari, for that question. Well, it all begins by, first of all, understanding the distinction between professional qualification or other certification is as compared to academic. As it's also been mentioned by one of the panelists, the essence of always seeking out for professional qualification, after the academic qualification. So what we see in professional qualification is where there's a lot of enhancement when it comes to, just having that ability to apply, the skills that have been learned within the confinement of a classroom into now the real workplace environment. So the various certification bodies will have to actually take you through certain trainings alongside the actual application in those various fields for you to be able to attain your certification. So, well, it will also depend if the advanced certification is also engaging this particular, module of approach for it to qualify as a professional qualification. But of course, again, we have very distinct professional bodies that you can always refer to. And every other time you have a certification, you need to also be able to align it to, or rather identify it with a particular professional body. And all this is available for us. You can always try to Google as much as you possibly can. Whenever you are taking a certification, try to establish, the mother body. If that body is indeed a professional qualification body, then that should be it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for that response. I'm sure the person asking, I believe that that has been addressed. There is another question on authentic branding. I believe this is a question on authentic business brand, but I think at this point we're looking at personal branding. I will request Tony to give it to address this concern. How do we build an authentic business brand? But I think for the purpose, the person asking, I think this is on a personal brand, not really. Tony? Is Tony with us?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I missed the question. Say that again, please.
Sorry.
I
Yeah,
had an interruption.
sorry. There is somebody asking, how do we build an authentic business brand? But I was saying in the context of our discussions this afternoon, I think it means a personal business brand.
Okay, I'll take that. So for a personal brand, and I like some of the things that were mentioned, I would say any content that you put out there in your socials builds a brand, whether you like it or not. The pictures that we put on our WhatsApp status, nowadays HR people are so savvy. Remember, you give your phone numbers. So when they want to call you, a lot of times they may save that number. If they save that number and they find an interesting image, already you are decreasing your chances of you getting the edge for the job that you're applying. So I would say that we need to watch out for the content that we are putting out on social media. And then, and in the same vein, we learn to become content creators. I know Jairus has talked about LinkedIn. I believe LinkedIn is really underused, depending especially on the type of work that you are trying to get. If you are adding value to people's lives via LinkedIn, you are branding yourself as an expert, as someone who's knowledgeable. So content is another way of branding yourself. The other one is networking. Hang out with people who accentuate your brand. We are living in a time of content creation. Take pictures when you go for those events. Take pictures with certain people, caption those, say nice things about them, so that and then you label when you're putting out those pictures nicely, when you're putting them out on your social media, label them nicely so that they can be found by people who are looking for you. Put your full names, search engine optimize them so that when you are found in the right places, so that when we find images of you, because when we look for you, we find information about you. We find your LinkedIn profiles. Sometimes we may find your Facebook profile. We find your listing at JQuat, and then some images. Let those images also tell a good story about you. That's one way of beginning to create a great image and a great brand for yourself.
Wow, thank you. Grace, there's somebody asking about challenge in career path development and professionalism. How can one balance passion and professionalism? Yeah.
How can
I know
you
that
balance
one is
passion and professionalism?
Yes, passion. I think what this person really wants is asking, they have what they have been trained to do, and they have what they're passionate about. How do they balance that in terms of career development?
It really depends. It really depends on, I wish they were more specific about what their passion is and what their career is. But I probably can give an example of a musician who is also in HR. If your passion is in music and you're singing, that's fine. But you need to know the effect of that passion of yours to your day job. So, for example, if you're a musician and you're in HR, and then you go and take videos of nude men and women, and then that is what you want us to vote for, it kind of dilutes your HR brand. So you really need to be a bit more specific on exactly what the passion is. There's some professionals that you choose, for example, that may not align with, say, the musician that you want to be. However, they can also feed off each other. I am a trained journalist and I am an HR. I am very passionate about information and information sharing. That's my passion. So I may not be doing it on the mainstream media, but I sure are doing it in other ways. And my passion and my profession work hand in hand because they feed off each other. So it really depends on what the passion is and what the profession is. But yes, you can actually push for both, especially if they are aligned, and especially if you're pushing for something positive. If, for example, your passion is in writing and you're an accountant, you can choose to do writing more on the accounting bit, or you can just choose to be the writer. And you know, in writing, we also have ghostwriters. You can choose a brand that is known for writing. For example, how many of you have ever heard of this guy who Tony, this guy who writes on Facebook and the Nation, Biko? Yeah. How many of you have ever seen Steve Biko? But he's such a big name on Facebook for those of us in this generation. But no one has ever seen his face. But he also writes for the Nation newspaper. And then he's a totally different person, and he has a whole career separate from what he does for writing. So it really depends on what your passion is, and you can find out ways of how they can feed off each other. And I saw a comment that was sent directly to my inbox, and since I am with the mic, I can probably also share that. A friend of mine, Nerea, says, I am a HR, and yes, they need to know the competition is so high. I posted an intern position job yesterday and already have 300 applications. Any incomplete application, I'm not even looking at twice. That is somebody who is actually working on it now. So when we talked about your differentiator, you really need to identify what that is and identify it very soon. Thank you very much, Rebecca.
Asante sana, Grace. Thank you for that. There's a question here, Jay. Somebody is asking, Rosa Ajambo is asking, when applying for a job internship that was advertised through online platform, how will you be sure that it is an authentic position and these are not scammers?
Now, thanks so much for that question. What happens is that immediately you see a position that has a company email, go to the company website just to seek clarification or authenticity for that position. You can even go ahead and call the company because most of the companies will have contacts on their website. Call the company and ask if that position indeed exists. And for those organizations that use Gmail addresses or unofficial emails, make sure as well you seek authentication before you apply for such jobs. Those are the jobs that will lead to you guys getting scammed. So be very keen when applying for this job. Do your due diligence before you apply for a position. And in case you are asked for any money, make sure that you call the company just to seek that clarification. And we are also, Grace and I and Tony are also here to help you. In case you feel a post is not authentic, you can share with us so that we can help you confirm the same as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that response. There's something I've seen on the chat. Let me just read it out from Lamek, who was a chief guest, and he's saying that it's important to take several questions when you're on this career transition journey, or rather when you're in this kind of dispensation that you're currently in. One, do you have what it takes? Number two, which career paths are in the new normal that I fit in? Number three, what is my competitive advantage? Number four, how do you future-proof your career? Number five, how can you take advantage of the digital era? And number six, how do I position myself? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think there is so much that we need to say. And I really thank you for your questions. And I'm sure that your curiosity is piqued, and there's some things that you've pinpointed, and now you will work towards polishing them up even as you brand yourself for the next journey. Now, very quickly, I would ask our panelists to give us some closing remarks or some remarks, even as we come to the end of our this particular segment. And I'll start with our first presenter, Mr. Lamek. What are the key takeaways you would want to add on to what you have already told our graduates?
Thank you very much, Dr. The key takeaways that I would really want to punch to our graduates is just to be able to be cognizant of the opportunities available around the globe and in the economic space. And at SCCA, we've actually been able to come up with 4 key areas that each and every person, regardless of the career space you are, you need to also find some bit of skill sets around. And this goes around the area of increased regulation and strong governance, which is really impacting on businesses. Number 2 is advances in technology, digital technology. And so you need to also align your skill sets around those areas. Number 3 is higher expectations of the business value, where now we see the society, getting so much concerned about value. So in regards to the skills that we have, the careers that we have, there's every need to see to it that we also add some value to what we have. And finally, there's the continued globalization. Stop thinking Kenyan, think globally, and look out for those platforms that can be able to give you linkages. Of course, the professional bodies gives us that so easily. You just look out for those global professional bodies that will now align you to interacting, with the people outside the Kenyan space, but now in the global space. So looking at those 4 areas, try to align. Keep asking yourself questions. Is your current career line aligned to these areas? And I think that will be it. And the world will be just but a playing field for us. Others, thank you very much for having me here, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Lamek. Graduates, there are some on the chat. Our speakers, as have graciously shared how you can reach them. So take note, and then you can get in touch with them later after this particular call. Our next speaker, your key takeaways, Ms. Grace.
Thank you, Rebecca, and thank you everyone who was part of this conversation. And I think, so first of all, you can check out our YouTube channel. It's called Get It Right with Atara Solutions. I've posted the link on the chat. And you search for anything to do with job seekers. We've hosted both Tony and Jairus there, and you'll be able to see what exactly you need. It will answer 3/4 of the questions you've posted there on what you need to do to position yourself, as well as look for a job and all those things. But my parting shot is be patient. You are part of a bigger plan. You are whatever you are destined. What do we call it? Everything that happens in your life is for a reason. So every time you see probably your colleagues are getting jobs and probably yours is delaying, trust the process, be patient, and keep pushing. Keep doing what you need to do. And then of course be flexible. Sometimes I've told you I'm a journalist. I practiced journalism for 6 months and that was it. I was done. And I took in an admin job. I used to work in a call center even before I graduated. And for me, it's because I mimi hujituma excess. And I've seen it work for me, and probably is a challenge to you as well, that you can also see whether that can work for you. But technically, be patient, trust the process, go out there, do not be afraid to ask, apply for those jobs, apply, and make sure that you're applying the right way. Go and sit with Jairus in the office, let him customize his CV. Probably, Jairus, you need to give these people discounts if they come within the next one. And then from there to start. And then when you're applying for a job, please treat each job application as if it's a job you're looking for. Give it as much importance as you may need to. And I wish you the very best, and may God come through for you. Thank you.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Tony, tell us your closing remarks.
First, again, thank you so much for having me. And of course, I wish the graduates a very bright future, and may the Lord really guide their steps. I would say mentorship is something that is helpful. Get a mentor, because they will open doors that you may not be able to open for yourself. And when you seek a mentor, find someone who you can also reverse mentor, because there are many things that we who are older need to learn and can learn from you, especially around technology and the things that are happening on that side of life. So mentorship is something that I would encourage. If you can get into professional bodies, even the ones that are free, begin. I would add what Nzula is saying. Patience is a skill that we have to exercise, remembering that our journeys are different. And this transition is just another page in your life. Your life is not determined by the degree that you have, like Nzula has said. If we were to share our stories, we also have varied life stories. We began in this field and ended up in a different one. So apply yourself, and don't forget what we said about vision. What do you want to do, and who do you want to do it for? Use any vehicle at your disposal to do that, and all the very, very best.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Tony. And finally, we have Mr. Walemba. Jay, your takeaway.
Thank you so much, Daktari, for this opportunity again. And now, for me, what I would just like to tell them is that what you do after school matters a lot, and you should be very authentic. I think for me, I didn't get this an opportunity to have such a talk when I was transiting. You need to understand that 70% of the jobs are never advertised. 70% of the jobs are never advertised. So make good networks, attend events, especially if you see any free events, attend to them, and be very authentic and always be very honest with what you tell people. Make sure that you tell everyone that the people that you interact with that you're looking for a job. If you create networks in an event, make sure you do a follow-up text, you do a follow-up email, just to make sure that those people are we should keep in touch. In case they have any opportunity, they can always let you know. And also, the second thing I would like to talk about is just being professional. Whether you are doing a message on Facebook, whether you are doing a message on LinkedIn, whether you're doing an email, make sure that you do a complete message. Don't hi everyone that you feel like you are hiring your friends. Be very professional. Hi, dear Walemba, I'm so and so. We met at this forum of this skill. I'm looking for an opportunity in procurement. I'm looking for an opportunity in accounting. So that Walemba, because Walemba is a busy man, he can always get back when he has time. And he will not, for me personally, I don't respond to high messages. You do a high, I look at it and just blue tick. So make sure you do that. And I wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, our guests. We really, really appreciate what you have done for us and the insights that you've shared with us. And participants, I want you to utilize that reactions button right there on your screen. Kindly help me appreciate our panelists and our speakers this evening, taking time off the busy schedules to share with us the experiences and that willingness to be very open and vulnerable to us and tell us what works and what does not work. We really thank you. So I want to see the reactions. Kindly get to that button down there. I know you guys are digitalized. I want to see reactions down there. Let me see whether you're happy, you're sad, you're celebrating. And anyone who is not seeing that button, let me know. You're supposed to be very digital, guys. Awesome. I can see Brian Otieno. I can see Rosling saying very informative. Yes, keep them coming, keep them coming. Let's appreciate our panelists. Thank you very, very much, Rodney. I see you. Thank you for that appreciation. And thank you for each and every one of you and your engagement. And we really appreciate, Rose. We can see your appreciation to our guests. Thank you very much. At this particular time, I would want to invite Dr. Karanja, who is going to talk to us his closing remarks as he ushers back the principal of CORED for the closing remarks. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Becky, for running that part of the program so well. Would also really want to thank all the speakers, right from Lamech. That was a powerful presentation where our graduates need to report too fast after the graduation party. Anthony Washira, that was powerful. I've learned a lot about the X factor or finding the X factor. That's quite brilliant. There was again Madam Grace Zula. You have talked about some very common sense issues that are not very common, that will make or break someone during this transition, and that is quite that was quite exciting. Jay Walemba, that was a great thing. I know most of our graduates don't know that whatever we do on our socials leave a mark. You might even delete, but there are ways of even picking what has been deleted. I think it was powerful, indicating I've had a lot of trouble dealing with people who have one CV that they forward to every other opening. Thank you so much, our graduates who are able to come. As the principal mentioned, this was not compulsory. And I was checking, you have remained, although a few have begun to leave, you have remained and you have participated the extent you have. And this is encouraging so that as we move forward in organizing similar events, because we want to make this a matter of routine, we will we encouraged. I'm sure for our guests, you will be able to engage with us once again. Thank you for your passion, and we shall keep engaging with each other. I now wish to invite the principal so that she may give her parting shot and also close the event for us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kabare. I want to begin by thanking the panelists. Thank you very much, Lamek. Thank you very much, Anthony, Grace, and Jay. You have said wonderful things. And I know perhaps some of our students will not appreciate this now, but in a few months, you will be so grateful that you logged in and listened into this webinar. As I think many of them have pointed out, when we were starting out, we really didn't have an opportunity to learn some of the things that you're learning today at graduation. Many of us, I think, we learned, what we had was the ability to look and learn. But for you, it's even easier because of all the resources that you have. And I want to assure you that whatever you have learned today from our wonderful speakers is going to make a difference. Do not doubt that. Everything that they have said has enabled some of us to get to where we are, because it's not an accident, by the way. It is not luck. It is incremental things that and decisions and choices that we make. I want to thank the panelists very, very much. The Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic Affairs really wanted to be here, but there is an emergency that the top management is handling. So he passes his apologies, but he also extends his gratitude to the panel that has really given of their time. By the way, as one of them, I think it was Rebecca, Dr. Rebecca, who said, what they're telling you was for free. Should you knock at their doors and their offices, it may not be for free. So you really have gotten a major head start. And I want to, as a matter of way forward, I did hear a couple of things that I hope you will begin to do and to engage with right away. The issue of professional bodies, I think that Lamek talked about. If you know that there is a professional body along your line of training, and by the way, this event was opened for all students, not just our business students, but and the entire college. And all these skills, by the way, apply not just to business students, but to any career, whether you are logged in as a biochemist, as whatever it is, engineer, mathematician, the world of work is pretty much the same. So these are essential skills. So you need to look out for professional bodies. I had a lot from Anthony around personal development, which very great reminders. And I think it was important for you to remember that you are going to undergo a transition, not just a change, in the next couple of weeks. And with that transition, then it means you need to change the way you think, the way you do things. I had a lot of great tips on the skills that employers are looking for, Grace. Thank you so much. As Rebecca pointed out, we struggle a lot with communication skills. They come to us, with Sheng and calling us Lex and calling the university school and so forth. But I think you will realize in the world of work, that ends. And now you have to begin speaking another way. And then Jay also talked a lot around writing your CV and improving your LinkedIn profile. And I want to believe that we will get on this assignment right away. And by the time you are getting your certificate and you have, as Dr. said, after your party, graduation party, you have homework to do so that you can put your best foot forward. Again, thank you to all who have participated today. I especially again want to thank Dr. Rebecca and Dr. Kabare for this initiative, as well as bringing wonderful panelists to our students. And I just want to appreciate going over and above to make this a successful graduate. So to the class of 2024, wishing you God's blessings, be the very best that you can be. Asante sana.
Thank you very much, Principal. I don't know whether we can get a volunteer to close for us. We started with a word of prayer. Can we get a volunteer? This is an opportunity for you to be visible. We start practicing what we have learned today. Any volunteer to close with a word of prayer? Do we have any? All right, let me do it. Everlasting Father, we come in your presence this evening again with thanksgiving. When we started this session, we requested you to start with us, and we have learned a lot of things, a lot of insights, and help us, Lord, even as we incorporate all these things that we have learned to make ourselves better and to position ourselves to fit into the world of work. We thank you and we appreciate you for all the panelists, the attendees, and we pray that, Lord, you may order their footsteps from above. We thank you. We bless your name, for in Jesus' name we pray, trust, and believe. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you and bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you and bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.